Oh yeah, is she here with us? Well, you know what? What's her name? You want to pull out your phone for a second? I'll give her a little message. When is the big day? Okay. Hi Jennifer, this is Scott Pressler. I'm here outside of the CNN building with your other half. Notice I said other half, not your better half, because I think that he actually got lucky getting the better half with you. But I just want to say thank you, Jennifer, for the support. Thank you for the love. Just know that we are not stopping for a gosh dang second. And hope to meet you in the future, Jennifer. Thank you. Let me know if you like something. Oh, it's my pleasure. I love it because the kids will come up to me and they'll go, my grandma loves you. So I'll always do video for their grandmas. How's your day? Yes, I remember. Life is good. How is? Are you still doing your radio? Okay, yeah. Because I remember we were talking about that, like the hallway of the hotel.
Yeah, we're gonna hook up, and we just got
Yeah.
no.
See you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll next year when things go back to normal, the Phyllis Schlafly will come back. So I'll have an exclusive.
Doesn't want her identity to be shown. So maybe we can have her turn around over the shoulder. We're going to talk about polling. We're going to talk about the voting fraud. So maybe she can turn around. And then, so then you stand right here. Here's the word. I'm surprised that you. I guess I didn't have my mic on.
I don't know. I think I just didn't pay attention to it. I was told not to talk to guys,
Is it okay to get your name, or do you want?
Yeah, I'll give you my name. It's not my last name.
Okay, just first initial.
Okay, or R. No. You can do R. Robin K. That's fine.
Robin K.
It's so important. I got my 13-year-old older.
Ready? Okay, so Robin, can you spell your name?
Robin.
So can you explain at a polling place what was the most suspicious thing that you saw?
The most suspicious thing that I saw was the fact that, the rules were that the one person takes a ballot and then the next person takes a ballot and they each verify what the name is. And a lot of people were just, one person was taking the ballot and the other person was leaning in, not even saying the name. One person may not even been paying attention, just kind of wandering off in their own little mind. And when we would bring it to the attention, they would say, I was told by several supervisors that it's not necessary that they have to touch the ballots. But yet we're not allowed to get close enough to see the ballots on the name due to social distancing. So I just felt that we were not allowed to be the monitors that we were there to be because they didn't want us to be close enough due to the social distancing. So it just was not did not give me confidence in the system.
So you're saying that maybe there were some ballots that were say for Trump that were announced as for Biden?
Right, but we couldn't get close enough to actually verify those names, and the other person would just say it or with their mask on say it, and you couldn't hear it, and it didn't give me the confidence that I was hoping for.
So that's the only way that you could verify was to actually hear them say the name. You couldn't
get close enough, right? Because they were very big about, 6 feet social distancing. And another thing was there was no signature verification, so we didn't even know if they were actually doing real auditing or anything like that. They're just real counting all the votes. And then to hear that there were votes found, everything was in disarray. There was the ballots that had already been counted. Nobody was watching those, and it just was very unsecured. And it's anybody could go in and take those.
What do you mean nobody was watching them? You mean they put them somewhere in the room? And
Yeah, it was just open to just right there where anybody could see it. Anybody, and if you didn't know what they were, or if you did know what they were and you had ill intent, anything could happen to those ballots that were already put in. There was only one person at one point putting the ballot numbers into the system. So even then, we couldn't get close enough to see if they were putting in the correct numbers into the computer system for the tally. So just a lot of suspicious activities that I just didn't feel confident in.
so how long would you monitor at Gwinnett?
I was there from Sunday at 7:30 a.m. until about 12 when they broke for break. I was actually told to get there 30 minutes early, and they wouldn't let me in. So
Only on Sunday you were there?
I was there Monday as well, 3:45 till about 8 o'clock at night. So I was there that evening as well.
Are you guys ready to get started?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want to, what?
All right. The man you've all came out here to see, Brandon Strunk.
What's up, Patriots? How's everybody doing today? Okay, first and foremost, I want to apologize for our tardiness. I never like starting late. I apologize. We had a number of issues. Our transportation just didn't show up. So we had to arrange a cluster of Ubers. So I'm really sorry about that. It's possible they knew where they were bringing us to and maybe didn't feel like actually following through. Thank you for coming out today for the Walk Away Rescue America Fake News Takedown. This is a very, very special event to me. It's close to my heart because it was the fake news that led to me walking away from the Democratic Party. Let's give it up for everyone who walked away from the Democratic Party this year. Because there were a lot of us, a lot of people made the same decision that I made to walk away this year. We've seen already in just the exit polls, the studies of the demographics that have been done so far. We're going to see more and more as the voting demographics begin to shift. But what we saw is that we nearly doubled the black vote. We saw enormous shifting with the Hispanic community, the Asian community, the Jewish community, and a cause very close to my heart, we doubled the LGBT vote. Doubled. Joe Biden, for those of you who didn't hear at home, he finished my sentence by saying, is a loser. Joe Biden grew with exactly one demographic of people, which was older, straight white men. Now, we love older straight white men in the walkaway campaign. Don't get me wrong. I want to be clear about that. But the truth is, on our side of the fence, we don't virtue signal constantly about how we're the party of tolerance and inclusivity and how the other side are morally deficient bigots and racists and Nazis and homophobes. We don't do that. But it does kind of bear pointing out, I think, that the Democrat Party is becoming the party of straight white people. Congratulations, guys. So we're seeing this year that all of these different minority demographics are beginning to shift, in addition to the fact that we know that President Trump has gotten 10.5 million more votes than he got in 2016. So why is this happening? Why are all of these people making the decision to walk away? Well, these guys right here are a big, huge part of the puzzle that is why people are walking away from the left. It's these guys. It's MSNBC. It's CNN. It's the New York Times. It's BuzzFeed. It's Vice. It's Rachel Maddow. It's Anderson Cooper. It's Don Lemon. Oh, that's true too. And it's even happening on our side as well. We're seeing that a lot. Now, Don Lemon, I actually have, hold on now. I have a little bit of compassion for Don Lemon. Hear me out. Hear me out. I have a little bit of compassion for Don Lemon because I truly believe he doesn't understand at all what's going on. I don't even think he's invited to the meetings at CNN. Like when everyone sits down and they have their strategy planning meetings and they say, okay, how are we going to present the news today? Well, we got to figure out, how to make Trump Hitler today. We got to figure out how to make his following all white supremacists. We've got to figure out how to turn every story, spin every story into this. And I don't think that they invite him. So I think that he just sits down every day in front of the teleprompter and it starts scrolling and he just sees Nazis, white supremacists, Hitler, whatever. And then he starts crying. And he's just like, the white supremacy. And I feel kind of bad for him because I don't think he's smart enough to get what's going on. I don't think he gets it. Like Rachel Maddow actually is in on it. Anderson Cooper's actually in on it. I don't think Don Lemon's in on it. He's not smart enough. He's too stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, is everybody warmed up today? Are you guys, yeah? Are you ready to boo as loud as you can? Okay, great. In 2016, I voted for Hillary Clinton. Love it, love it. It's like vitamins. I voted for Hillary Clinton, and when Donald Trump won the election in November of 2016, I was shocked, horrified, and above all, scared to death. I was absolutely terrified. And the reason why I was terrified is because I'd spent my entire life voting based off of my minority status. I'm a gay man in America. And the marketing that was directed towards me and people like me, and it's not just me, it's black people, it's brown people, it's LGBT people, it's women, it's Jewish people, it's Asian people. The marketing that is directed towards groups like us is that the Democrat Party is the only party that cares about marginalized classes of minorities in this country, and that the Republican Party is the party of greedy, straight white people. These narratives are doubled over and over and over again and repeated over and over and over again by entities like CNN, MSNBC, and the New York Times. They told us, well, first of all, when Donald Trump came down that escalator and announced that he was running for president, they all acted like it was a big joke. They thought it was hilarious. They thought it was so funny that this reality show buffoon would dare to run for office, that he would dare to try to even attempt to stand up for the American people. But then something began to happen. His movement began to grow and grow. What he was saying was resonating with the American people because for the first time ever, you guys were actually being represented. You guys were actually being heard. You guys actually had a voice that actually cared about you. And you had the greatest fighter that we've ever had standing up for you. Ever. And so naturally, the movement began to grow and grow. And when it got to the point that it became clear that Donald Trump was going to be the Republican nominee, suddenly it wasn't so funny anymore. Suddenly CNN and MSNBC and the likes had to somehow change their narrative, shift the story, because all of a sudden their preferred candidate, Hillary Clinton, didn't necessarily have this all sewn up. So they had to ask themselves, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to take this guy out? Because it's not their job to tell the news. It's not their job to go out and investigate and research and tell stories. It has become their job, according to them, to be a propaganda arm for the Democrat Party. And as a propaganda arm for the Democrat Party, they had to take Donald Trump out. So how are we going to do it? How are we going to take Donald Trump out? And they sat down and they said to themselves, what triggers our base more than anything else? Social injustice. We have to make Donald Trump the most racist, the most bigoted, the most homophobic, the most evil man sinister, evil man who's ever run for office before. And they wasted absolutely no time doing it. They began going to his rallies, saying that black people weren't safe to go there. Hispanic people weren't safe to go there. They likened them to KKK rallies. And we see, are they on our side? Okay. That's okay, good. They need the message most of all. So they began going to Trump rallies and saying that minority classes of people weren't safe going there. They began saying that Donald Trump wanted to ban all Muslims from being in the United States, that he wanted to send people back to Africa, that Mike Pence wanted to put gay people in concentration camps in this country. That was an interesting one. And they said that Donald Trump called all Mexicans rapists. And then I remember distinctly one day being at the gym. This is back when I used to go to the gym. It was a very different me. As soon as this election is wrapped up, I will be going to the gym again. But I appreciate that. If you're looking at me right now, you're probably going, you went to the gym. But I did go to the gym, and I was on the treadmill, and I remember looking up, running, and all of a sudden I saw on the screen, Donald Trump mocks disabled reporter. And I was horrified. And I had a pit in my stomach, and it made me feel sick. Because not only did Donald Trump, according to CNN, make fun of someone's disability, but he had a cheering crowd of deplorable people around him, laughing and cheering as he made fun of someone's disability. It was the sickest thing I'd ever seen. And it made me hate all of you guys. Hate you. Hate you. Hate you. I love you back. That wasn't the end of the story. There's a happy ending. Stay tuned. So I was sick to my stomach, but the media that I trusted, like CNN, told me, don't worry about it. Yes, he's disgusting. Yes, his followers are disgusting, but he's got about a 3% chance of winning. And then that number went down and down the closer we got to election day. By election day, it was down to about 1%. Hillary Clinton was going to take it in a 99% landslide. So imagine my shock and horror when at 2:15 a.m. Eastern Time, another beautiful media source, the Huffington Post, called the election, and I refreshed the page, and there was Donald Trump with a giant red banner above his head that said, "Nightmare." It said, "Nightmare, President Trump." And the byline was, "Millions to lose their health insurance, civil rights to be rolled back, ... and other possible headlines from a Trump presidency. So literally the moment that Donald Trump got elected, they wasted no time with the fear mongering and the fake news, creating, literally manufacturing headlines that might appear in the future to try scaring us right now. And it worked brilliantly. I was terrified. I was terrified. I was so scared that at the time I was working as a hairstylist and I had to cancel all my appointments the next day. I called into work and I said, I cancel all my appointments. I cannot be anywhere near scissors today. Or bleach. And so I did what any calm, rational, thinking person would do. I got on Facebook and I started crying. And I started asking my fellow Americans, how could you do this? How could you vote for such an awful person? How could you do this to America? How could you do this to me? How could you do this to black people, brown people, LGBT people? How could you guys do this? And nobody would answer me. No one. And so for months, I found myself becoming more and more and more angry and just lashing out on social media, posting and posting. Finally, in January of 2017, 2 months after the election, I posted that I would never be able to understand how any of you horrible people could vote for a man who was capable of standing before a cheering crowd and mocking a reporter's disability. I love you right back. And that is when somebody reached out to me privately with a link to a video entitled "Debunking that Trump Mocked the Disabled Reporter." And what this video showed, it was a compilation of footage that showed 5-6 instances of Donald Trump engaging in that same voice and that same gesture as he did in that rally that day in 2015 or 16, going way back at times even before the election. But in every incident, the commonality was that he was imitating someone who was flailing because they were caught in a lie, because they were doing something shady, because they were doing something dishonest. And so that day at that rally, when he imitated that reporter who, yes, happened to be disabled, he wasn't making fun of that reporter's disability. He was making fun of the fact that that reporter who happened to be disabled was lying to the American people. Lying, yes, you can clap for that. And it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. Because I looked at it and I had to watch it 3 or 4 times. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I don't think Donald Trump mocked that reporter's disability. But this presented an even bigger conundrum for me. Because if Donald Trump didn't mock a reporter's disability, why did those motherfuckers tell me that he did? CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! When I realized that Donald Trump did not mock a reporter's disability, but CNN had told me that he did, I became completely confused and shocked, and I didn't understand what was going on. And you know why? Because I fucking trusted you people! I thought you were honest. I thought you were the good guys. I thought you told the truth. I thought you cared about black people and brown people and LGBT people the way you claim to. But you don't care about us. You're using us. They're using us. All of us. They don't care about black Americans. They don't care about brown Americans. They don't care about Asian people. They don't care about white people either. Don't get me wrong. They don't care about anybody. They care about power and control. Those are the only things that CNN and the mainstream media care about. We're not going to give it to them. And we're not going to give it to them. They will lie. They will cheat. They will omit. They will deceive. They will blatantly patch up anything that they need to patch up for their chosen candidates. If they need to bury evidence for them, they'll do anything that they need to do. But most appalling, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is that if you are a minority person in this country, we are selectively and intentionally targeted by the liberal media in this country to keep us suspended in a state of fear and terror and victim mentality, believing that we exist in a country of systemic racism, systemic oppression, trapped in a system from which we cannot succeed and we cannot break free. And it's a huge, colossal lie. Many of us right now are feeling uncertain because we're caught in a state of limbo with this election. We don't know what's true. We don't know what's not true. We don't know where we're headed. We don't know what's going to happen next. And that's a terrible feeling, to not be certain about where we are or where we're going. It's a bad feeling. But I can tell you, I have learned enough in the last 2.5 years, 3 years, to be able to tell you this. If Giuliani came out and Sidney Powell came out and Jenna Ellis came out and gave the press conference that they gave the other day, and all of these sons of bitches can do is talk about Giuliani's hair dye, we're on the right track. We're on the right track. If they can't report a single thing that happened at that press conference, besides how much Giuliani was sweating, they're the ones who need to be sweating. You need to be sweating. And so today, we come here to tell CNN, shame on you! 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 And listen, the evidence speaks for itself. The evidence speaks for itself. Today, you will be hearing from every type of American, Black Americans, brown Americans, LGBT Americans, straight Americans, white Americans, who walked away from the political left. And not 100 years ago, walked away since 2016. And walked away since 2016 largely because the fake news in this country cannot be trusted. Cannot be trusted. And they've got to go. It's time for the fake news to go. How about that? It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go.
It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go.
And so, as I wrap up my brief opening comments today, I want you to have an amazing day as we roast the hell out of CNN, and we will. And I want to close out with us doing that glorious chant one more time. CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks!
CNN sucks. CNN sucks.
Never forget this beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen, because God knows they won't report it. Thank you, Patriots! And with that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Nick from my team, and then we're going to move on with the program. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back at the end.
All right. I'm going to introduce our MC for today, political commentator, YG Nightstorm.
Oh, y'all better come on. I don't hear y'all. Everybody on the right, y'all better come on. What's up, Atlanta? Everybody on the left, what's up, Atlanta? We're in the media. What's up, Atlanta? Now, I don't know, but I'm feeling real good today. If you are blessed by God and you love this country, somebody needs to be saying, hell yeah. Now, let me break this down to you because I have a special relationship with this place here. 27 years ago, if you don't know, I was actually homeless and sleeping on the streets. And right here is where I had laid after I had been beaten up, robbed, my socks taken, my shoes taken, and my ribs was busted, and I stumbled and I laid right here. And only thing I saw was that security came out, and the security guard said, young blood, some producers in CNN, they say they want you gone, you have to get up and leave. And I said, well, I'm hurt. I just got my behind kicked. I have no place to go. Just give me a minute to recover. And then I heard one of the producers in the back say, get that scum away from here. And when I heard that, I felt so helpless at first because I had grew up watching CNN, and I'm like, this is the place that I used to see stuff that programmed me to sit here and hate white people. But as I got up, and I stumbled on up across the street over there because I didn't want to get arrested, the beautiful thing about how God works with people in our darkest hours is that a Rolls Royce stopped over there. And a 72-year-old white man about this tall got out of that car, walked around, saw me laying on the street. He prayed over me. He saw I didn't have any socks or shoes on. He took off his shoes. He had on a pair of Argyle socks, prayed over me, put those Argyle socks on my feet. And he said, as sure as these socks cover your life, you are going to make a difference. Now walk with God. And when I tell you that bit crushed me, my spirit, but it reignited my faith in God that regardless of whatever I go through, regardless of whatever I see, that God will make a way as long as I get up. So when I tell you this scum that CNN called has traveled across this world. This scum that CNN called has built a successful business. This scum that CNN called has raised 7 amazing adult children. This scum that CNN called fights for the rights of the sanctity of life around the world. And this scum has moved to Washington, D.C. to take on the swamp. But when Brandon called me, I said, I'm coming home. Hello, CNN. The scum is back. So when I tell you something, regardless of what we're seeing right now, because that's why we need to have things like this happen. Because CNN looks at every last one of you as scum. Because you don't follow their narrative. You don't follow the programming. The black people don't follow their programming. The white people who stand against this don't follow their programming. Well, I want to say, hello, scum party. Now, I want to call two people up because since they want to play these games of gender and color, I want to invite two of my sisters from Forsyth County to come up. Come on up. Kathy and Carrie, y'all give them a hand. And I want y'all to stand right here next to me. Because when I tell you, I call them my sisters. Because we are all Americans. And we are all standing for this country. And it does not matter what this looks like. It doesn't matter what this looks like. The only thing that matters is right here. Now, sisters, y'all come on and give a brother a hug. Thank you. Now, are y'all ready to kick this off? Are y'all ready to kick this off? And I want to tell you, I had to make sure I wore my special Argyle socks today. So, y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Say USA! 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 All right, coming to the microphone, we got the creator of the 1776 Forever Free, Dr. Kodak Williams. Come on, son.
Oh, man, how do you follow that up? What a blessing, man. Did anybody get teary-eyed? Did anybody get teary-eyed? I was fighting them back. Well, I don't know if I'm going to make you teary-eyed, but I know you're going to leave with some solution to action steps and a boot up your butt a little bit to make some change in America. How about that? Well, first I need a volunteer. How many vets I got in here? Marines, Army, Air Force. Come on up, beautiful. I need you to hold Old Glory for me. Because we're talking about fake news. We're talking a little bit about Fredo and Don Lime or whatever bitter fruit he's named after, lemon, I don't know. There's certainly a lot of bitterness there for sure. But one of the things I want you to get and I want you to remember as this young lady, what's your name?
Savannah.
And what branch of service?
Army.
Army, praise God. God bless this soldier. Round of applause, right? But one of the things I want you to get is Savannah holds Old Glory. I want you to think about the last 10 years. And there's a number I want you to remember. 17,046. 17,046. Because that's the number of flag-draped coffins that have come home and bodies that have laid to rest. Savannahs of the world. Moms, daughters, nieces, nephews, grandchildren. And the reason why that's so relevant today as we talk about fake news is because one of the biggest threats to our democracy and our republic is fake news. Is fake news. It's the First Amendment. Because if you don't know it yet, the biggest thing you have besides your guns being taken away right now is the cabal that's doing that. Those 17,046 bodies, it's our job. They leaned in and they stood up for us. Now it's our time to lean in and stand up for them. Because what has the fake news done over the years? Oh my goodness, how many stories do we have? Do you guys remember that 17-year-old boy at the Lincoln Memorial supporting pro-life? And remember now, this is the party of acceptance, right? And I know all of us from watching them the last 4 years, we all see lighters. Everybody's saying we are the world and Stevie Wonder in the background, don't we? That's how accepting these people are. I'm being sarcastic, obviously, right? We all know that's not true. And I remember when I heard the name Nicholas Sandmann, and I heard about the Lincoln Memorial, and I heard this young boy goes with his Catholic school, and they're going on a trip. They're going on a trip to support America. Because he said, you know what? This is a place where all our views are accepted. And I was raised up as an American, and my name's Nicholas Sandmann, and I'm just going there to defend my country and defend what I believe in and peacefully protest. And he gets there, and he sees these red hats. He's like, wow, make America great again. That seems like a great idea. I want that to happen for my country. And he puts on this hat, and what happens next? You guys know. A Native American, a pseudo-Native American comes up to him. He's beating a drum. Next thing you know, they're trying to cancel and ruin this 17-year-old kid's life. He's getting death threats. They got people outside his house. And before his life or career even started, they're trying to cancel it and eliminate it. If we don't do something now, guys, we're all the next Nicholas Sandmann. We're all the next Nicholas Sandmann. And what's that doing for the souls that are 6 feet under? What's that doing for the Savannahs out there? Absolutely, at the very least, it's disgraceful and disgusting. And then I think about a patriot that's been involved in multiple political campaigns and has been out there for years. Roger Stone. Look what they did to Roger Stone, guys. Look what they did to Roger Stone. Do you guys know that the fake Russian collusion witch hunt, the Spygate, right? Robert Mueller had a sealed indictment for Roger Stone, and they leaked it to CNN. And at 4 in the morning, Roger Stone has police officers and people arriving at his house. At 6 a.m., 29 of them are storming in. And who was the first news network to get leaked that he was going to get arrested before Roger Stone even knew about it? Fredo and Lime. They were the two. They knew about it. The first ones. I want you to get the impact of that. Because if they can disgrace all of us, if they can do that to us, if they can arrest us for nothing, if that can be leaked and our civil rights are completely violated on a 68-year-old man, then they can do it to anybody. And as a republic, we owe better to the names at Arlington. We owe better to the names on the Vietnam Memorial. We owe better to the families that have got this triangular shaped flag, and they've heard the message on behalf of the President of the United States Army, and a proud and grateful nation. I give you this flag to pay tribute for your son or daughter's service. I heard that at the age of 12. After my papa died of cancer. And I'll never forget the price that he paid and getting that flag as my grandfather stood there. So not only do we have to be a stand for the souls that are 6 feet under, but we have to be a stand for the Roger Stones and the Nick Sandmans around the world, because the censorship is real, guys. The threat to democracy in our republic as we know it is real. And what I want you to get and leave here with today is, if we don't do something and we don't act right now, the same thing they're pushing, and my friends on the left, or anybody out there waving, F-U-C-K Trump flags or shouting obscenities, of course that's peaceful and very Stevie Wonder, right? Anybody that's doing that, what I want you to get is, if they can cancel us now, it's only a matter of time before they cancel you. It's only a matter of time before they cancel you. And we owe the souls that are 6 feet under, we owe them better. And we owe them more. I'm a first-generation chiropractor. I'm a third-generation veteran, but I'm a lifetime patriot. I'm a lifetime patriot. And that's why I ask you, going forward, stand with me. Don't let this just to be an inspiring rally where you get excited and it's sexy and you share and like videos and you gain some new friends. On Monday, what I want you to do is start getting involved. So 1776 Forever Free, my co-founder Chris Lippy and I, we're going around the country. We've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of our own money because our political action committee is taking the fight to Soros. It's taking the fight to fake news. We're getting city councils involved. We're getting all of you guys to run for office, your townships, your mayorships, because we've got to take it to them, because they've been taking it to us, because we owe it to that flag and we owe it to Savannah. God bless you guys. Semper Fi.
Thank you, Dr. Gordy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a moment, please, to say a big thank you to Rsbn Network right here. Rsbn is amazing. They travel around the country, covering all of the Trump rallies and various other events. They go to all of them. They have amazing reporters on the ground. They stream the event from beginning to end. They don't cut in. They don't cut it off. You can always count on them to be able to see the Trump rally from beginning to end, and they're amazing. Thank you, Rsbn. And they came here today to stream our rally. They also streamed our rally in D.C. last week. We love them. Thank you guys so much. So if you don't currently follow Rsbn, get on social media, follow them on Twitter, certainly subscribe to their YouTube channel. They're amazing, absolutely amazing. And to the Rsbn audience who doesn't know us, we are the Walkaway Campaign. Please give us a follow on all social platforms. Join the Facebook group. That's where you're going to see amazing testimonials from patriots who have walked away from the left, video and written testimonials. Join the Walkaway Campaign Facebook group. It's amazing. You're going to love it. Join us on social media and give me a follow on all platforms at Brandon Strzok. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker today is a member of really the Walkaway family. I mean, we've really become a family this year, traveling around the country. This is like our 18th or 19th rally since July. It's one of the most fun ones because we get to blast CNN today. But our next speaker has become like a sister to me, which is really interesting because we look very different. But sometimes that's what family looks like, is it not? And I love to blast her publicly because she voted for Jill Stein in 2016. Jill Stein. So, but she did walk away, and she's going to tell you all about how she feels about the fake news. Ladies and gentlemen, Shamika Michelle.
And Brandon, I have repented for voting for Jill Stein. What's up, America? So listen, we're here to take down the fake news. Is that correct? And what better place to do it than in front of CNN? Now, media, the definition for media is the plural form of medium. And one of the definitions for medium is the intervening substance through which impressions are made or conveyed to the senses. Let me say that again. Media is the plural form of medium, and medium means the intervening substance through which impressions are conveyed to the senses, which means it's the media who controls what it is that you get to see, what it is you think, and what it is you feel, what it is you hear. Malcolm X said that the media will have you believing that the victim is the oppressor and the oppressor is the victim. The media will have you believing, if you don't jump on the radical global warming train, that you don't believe in science. But then that's the same media that will ridicule you for believing in biology. See, that's the same media that will have you thinking that men are women and women are men. The media is manipulative. The media will have a grown man rolling through the streets of Atlanta hollering, "Fuck Donald Trump," in a pair of new white sneakers on a scooter. That's the media. The media will have you believing that it is okay to go around and burn your city. See, but what I want to know is, I want to know who was pressing the record button when George Floyd was murdered. Huh? Because you're so big and you're so bad that you can go around and you want to tear up some buildings and bust out some windows, but I want to know who pressed record. Why is it that you didn't step in since you're so big and you're so bad? See, I want to know what woman let Rayshard Brooks get in a car knowing that he was intoxicated. And she's probably somewhere calling herself a queen, where you didn't help that king make better decisions, but then you decided that it was okay to go and burn your city down. That's what the media will have you thinking. See, I'm not scared to call him a punk. I'm not scared to call him a sissy, because if you was really about that life, you wouldn't have let him get to that position in the first place. But see, the media will have you thinking that all you need to do is get a black woman off of a syrup bottle. The media will have you thinking that you've accomplished something if you get a black man off of the box of rice.
Georgia had announced it had certified its election results around noon Eastern Time, but retracted the statement 40 minutes later. The Peach State just completed an almost 5 million hand recount, and Biden leads with a razor-thin margin, 0.25%. This morning, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger said he's disappointed President Trump didn't win Georgia.
Working as an engineer throughout my life, I live by the motto that numbers don't lie. As Secretary of State, I believe that the numbers that we have presented today are correct.
His office sent a press release at 12:26 p.m. saying the election result in Georgia had been certified. In less than an hour, the office sent out another press release saying Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger today will certify the results for the November 3rd, 2020 general election, meaning it hadn't been done yet. Raffensperger ordered the hand recount amidst allegations of voter fraud and mismanagement, but the recount itself has been controversial. The state used an auditing software called Arlo this year, which a monitor of the hand count alleges is flawed.
That program forces the county elections directors to put their information into the Secretary of State system rather than their own system. So what that means...
The police is not out here hunting and killing you. I don't believe LeBron James when he stood up in his mansion behind a gate talking about we're being hunted. You got people like T.I. right in this city that's pushing that narrative. Well, T.I., if you're so concerned, you should be here right now. T.I., if you're about that life, you got an assembly right here in front of CNN. The same media that is trying to control your people. Where are you? T.I. is somewhere being more concerned that his wife cheats on him with his enemy. Somebody go tell T.I. that I said that right here in his city, because I ain't scared in my black beret and my camouflage shoes. That means I'm ready for war. That means that I'm not going anywhere. That means that every chance I get, I'm going to hop on a mic and I'm going to do what needs to be done. And I'm going to say what needs.
Michelle, first of all, I am honored to be here amongst such great Americans, patriots, red-blooded patriots. Where is CNN? Is CNN in the house? I mean, I know this is their house, but are they in the house? Now, are you out here? Now, if this were Black Lives Matter, burning and looting, they'll be out here right now with me. If this was Antifa setting the place on fire, they'll be here right now, wouldn't they?
You keep poll watchers from watching you count the ballots. How can it be fair when you got living people who didn't vote and they're saying that they did vote? That's election fraud. That's not voter fraud. That's election fraud. How can you have a fair election and the machines and the software can change the vote from one candidate to the other candidate? And you're mad at us because we want to exercise our constitutional rights. We have the right to protest for our rights. And I'm so surprised at the Republican Party here in Georgia. Hell, you would think I'm Republican. I'm a lifelong Democrat, but I don't care. I stand up for what's right. And these elections were wrong. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of Antifa. They're afraid of Stacey Abrams. I'm not afraid of Stacey Abrams. I'm not a doormat. I'm a matador. Talking about a fair fight. That's no fair fight. They hide. They steal and they cheat. It's an unfair fight organization. But let me tell you, I'm your huckleberry. And this next election, you're a daisy if you do. Now, I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about accountability. Because we're not like them. They like to burn, shoot, and even kill. A baby girl right here in Atlanta, 8 years old, was killed. But they don't call her name, but they want to always talk about Breonna Taylor. But what about that baby girl? What about the 1-year-old baby girl in New York that was shot and killed in a stroller? What kind of person is that? Why is it that Joe Biden can't say that Antifa and Black Lives Matter ain't worth a damn, that they're terrorists and they need to be kicked the hell out of this country or put in a damn dungeon? Why is it you want to go and raid restaurants because somebody that doesn't have a mask, they're like a damn masked Nazi or a Nazi mask, whatever you want to say, but Antifa can run these streets and burn and loot and march and do all the violence and nobody's saying anything about that. And then CNN will report mostly peaceful protests and buildings are burning down behind them. That's bullshit. AOC, Green Deal, that's a bad damn deal. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm glad my mother's not here. But people, I'm going to say this because we have other things to do. If we don't stand up, who will? Now, they want to look at us like troublemakers. We are. You know what? We're getting in some good damn trouble. That's what we're doing. We're getting into good damn trouble. We're standing up for Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents. We're standing up for our right to a true, fair, and transparent election. What is wrong with that? Where are the Democrats? It took Stacey Abrams and the media 3 years before they can say, okay, she lost. And then they want to say she narrowly lost. She didn't narrowly lose. She lost from getting in a runoff by 50,000 votes. Just to get in a runoff, you didn't almost win. Hell, you almost lost worse than you lost. I don't know. I don't know where Kemp is, but I know where y'all are. Y'all are standing between memory and hope. Memory what just happened and where we hope to go. January 5th is going to be a crucial election. If we don't get out and support David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, we are going to have Warnock, who's socialist, and John Off the Rock, John Ossoff as a Marxist, because that's what they stand for. Why don't they go to Venezuela and live over there if they think socialism works? And when you don't support law and order, when you don't support police officers, what in the hell is wrong with you? That's what I like about Donald Trump. He travels with a set of twins, one named Law and the other named Order. That's what we stand for, law and order. So look, we're going to march again, and we're going to march and march again. We will never stop. Freedom is not free. And let me tell y'all, we're Americans. I don't care where you're from. I may be taller than you. My eyes may be a different color than yours. But our blood, it runs red. It runs the United States of America red. So I want to ask you all, don't give up. You got a lot of fight left in you. I know you to come up here. I want you, you come up here. You see this little lady right here? She got more fight in her than Kamala Harris and Joe Biden ever had. If she can take a time out of her schedule and come here and raise that American flag and say, we're going into battle. We're giving that yell. We're going to charge. You know, those who are at home, they remind me of those who don't like resistance, don't want to go against the current. I was telling somebody the other day, President Trump reminds me of a salmon. Those who are here today remind me of a salmon. Any fish can swim downstream, including a damn dead fish. But it takes a salmon to swim upstream. And we're swimming upstream against the current. If Donald Trump can put himself on the line for us, we can put ourselves on the line for Donald Trump. If he can catch COVID for us, so we can have our liberties, so we're not a military state, police state country, then I can put mine on the line as well. Freedom is worth dying for. My eyes have seen the coming of the glory too. His truth is marching along. Somewhere I saw in the Constitution, we have First Amendment rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of choice. She could be walking around Antifa and they'll jump on her just because of her hat. That's not the America we grew up in. And another thing, I am a protector of the Second Amendment. You're not going to take my damn gun. I don't use it in a violent way. I use it to protect my family, my property. If you decide to hang with me, you got the message. This is America, and I love this country. Even there were times this country didn't love me. But you know what? When I see y'all here today, standing here for what you believe in, what greater cause? You're not taking a political stand. You're not taking a stand that's popular. You may not even be taking a stand of the majority. But somewhere I saw where one courageous man in the crowd is a majority. Y'all are here because what you feel in your body, and your mind, and your soul. And when you're willing to go to the extreme for that, and you feeling that way, ain't no stopping us now. Ain't no stopping us now. My country, tears of thee, sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land of our... She said, yeah. Land of the Pilgrim's Pride. You got that right. You are the majority. Thank you for coming out. Thank y'all for coming out. I know there's going to be something else a little later. I want you to participate. I'm on social media. Rep. Vernon Jones, follow me. I want to follow you. We got a message to carry from the State House to the White House. Love you, America. We'll be over.
Let's give it up again for Representative Vernon Jones. Hi guys, I'm Nick Miles. I work for the Walkaway Foundation. The Walkaway Foundation, which is a 501c3, does not support and endorse any direct candidate, organization, cause, or business that is in attendance and or speaking at this event today.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Vernon Jones. Really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, before someone just told me that CNN did come out. So I'm trying to ask myself, well, what is the headline going to be, if there is, if they do a story at all? What are they going to tell? So I have to ask, I'm just curious, make a little noise right now if you are not a Caucasian person. Anything. Okay, because you're all about to disappear when the story comes on, just so you know. None of you were here. The story is going to be white supremacists descend on CNN to do God knows what, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen,
Our next speaker is a great friend of mine and an amazing activist and an amazing asset to our movement. And I want to introduce my good friend, Scott Pressler.
I love you. Hello, Atlanta. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Scott Pressler. I am the son of a retired Navy captain. I am that long-haired Eagle Scout. And I'm here in Georgia to help stop the steal. But you guys don't know my story. I graduated from college, couldn't find a job, and I started walking dogs for a living because there's no shame in a hard day's work and an honest day's labor. And I want to pay respect to President Obama because he did inspire me. The day that he was reelected, I created my Twitter account because I told myself, you can sit at home and whine and complain, or you can do something about it. So I started volunteering. I fell in love with it because I met people like you. I moved to Texas to help elect Governor Greg Abbott. I spent 2 years of my life working to defeat Hillary Clinton. And I've spent the last 4 years of my life helping to defend and protect our Constitution. Now, guys, a year ago, I was invited to the White House, and it was the coolest gosh darn moment of my life. I even flat ironed my hair. Listen, I was about to see our man. It was a special occasion. And so I'm walking in there, and all of our heroes are there. I'm talking Donald Trump Jr., Kimberly Guilfoyle. I'm sitting behind Dan Bongino. I know. I could breathe on him, but that was pre-COVID. I can't do that anymore. And so David Harris Jr. is asking our president a question on the right side of the room. I'm on the left. I knew he was going to turn his head. I had my arm like this, prepared, ready to go. President Trump started to turn his head, but first his hair moved a little bit. And then his head moved, and I shut up my arm like a dang lightning bolt. President Trump pointed at me. The most powerful man was locking eyes with me for 2.3 seconds. I counted. Melania Trump better watch out because I am wiggling my way right in there. So I like to think of my life as I started off humbled in the doghouse, and I ended up in the White House. Now, guys, our president, Trump, inspired me because a year ago he talked about Baltimore. And I saw everybody else was pointing the finger, and they were blaming, and they were scapegoating, but nobody was taking action. And so I tweeted out to my following, and I said, I'm going to Baltimore. I didn't realize what I had done because all these people wanted to help, and then I was like, uh-oh. I studied criminal justice, not waste management and sanitation. So within 6 days, we organized a national cleanup with 200 volunteers on a Monday, and we picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in 1 day. So I went home to my ma, and I was like, Ma, I'm good at picking up trash. And you see her heart swelled with pride because her son, the dog walker, turned into a trash collector. But the reason why I share this story with you is, guys, I'm an average American citizen, but I did something extraordinary because I chose to take action. And in 1 year's time, so many of you feel hopeless and you feel powerless and you say, Scott, one person can't make a difference. One vote doesn't matter. And I'm here to tell you that you do matter. And in 1 year, we've organized cleanups in Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore, Chicago, Denver, Duquesne, Detroit, Houston, Kenosha, Los Angeles, Miami, Milwaukee, Portland, Pittsburgh, Philly. And I was even protested for picking up trash by the Democrats in San Francisco, California. Eat your heart out, Nancy Pelosi. So what I want you to take away from today is you are so powerful if you choose to hone that power and if you choose to act. And I make a promise to you, as soon as the election, I was really looking forward to sleeping. I was. On November 4th, I was like, Scott, you're going to go to bed and you're going to rest. But as soon as it was clear that there were numerous irregularities and that an election was being stolen from us, I headed straight to the steps of the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Capitol building. And then I went and marched with you in D.C. to help stop the steal. And yesterday, I drove 9 hours here from Virginia. Registered a 17-year-old on the way. And I would not miss this for the world. So just know that you have an ally in me, and I will do everything. I promise you, I am not going to rest. I am not going to give up. I will not buckle. I will not bend. I will not be intimidated. And I'm going to do everything to fight for truth and justice, because I firmly believe that freedom is worth fighting for. And that's what we are. We are not just Americans. We are freedom fighters! So thank you to you that have chosen to step up, you that have chosen to raise your voices, and you that have chosen to take action. Thank you. Also, I am filing a FOIA request to not only Governor Kemp, but also our Secretary of State. And in the FOIA, I am requesting any documentation sent to or from that include Dominion voting system, Smartmatic, DVS, and I have a message before I go. I have a message to you Republicans that are elected who are not standing firmly with our president. We will remember! And for those of you, when I do receive my FOIA request, which should be done for every state that used Dominion voting system to the governor and the Secretary of State, we will find out whose Republican hands are clean or dirty. And in 2022, we will primary you. You guys have changed my life. I want you to know that. You've changed my life. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. And I want you to know I'm not stopping. I stand with you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott Pressler. Let us not lose sight, ladies and gentlemen, of an important factor that's bringing us out here today, which is that CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks!
CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks!
They do, though. They do. They suck so bad. They suck so bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I watched earlier this year as George Floyd was killed, and we all were on the same page, feeling like something's wrong. You know, something doesn't feel right about this situation. But what happened next was this disgusting narrative that was crafted and created by a group called Black Lives Matter and was enabled by the media, if not entirely co-supported by the media, that we need to defund the police, that the police in this country are our enemy. And young people from coast to coast jumped on this movement because they believe, they've been taught to believe, that the media is an institution in this country that is a believable authority, that these are good guys, that these are good people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a parent, but please start teaching your children that the media cannot be trusted, or show them the ones who can, because our youth are easily manipulated. That's why the Democrats go after them. That's why these cult ideologies like Antifa and Black Lives Matter go after America's youth. But then we have youth in this country like Chandler Crump. We have young people in this country who are defying the trend, who are standing up, who are being intelligent, who are well-read, who are well-researched, and who are using their voices to buck the trend of what it means to be a young person in this country. You don't have to be a leftist. You don't have to go along with the fake news. I'm so proud of this young voice in our movement. Ladies and gentlemen, Chandler Crump.
Well, I have to say I am very flattered by the words of Brandon Strzok. I'm very proud of each and every one of the previous speakers that came up and said amazing things. I do want to say, what's up, America? And what is up, Atlanta, Georgia? Who here is tired of the fake news media like CNN? I know I am. I know I am. My story starts back in 2016. Now, just around then, if you can believe it or not, I was in 5th grade. Yeah, I know, that's going to be a little bit of a culture shock for you guys, because you're like, 2015, I remember that. This kid was in 5th grade. How is he talking to me now if he was in 5th grade back then? Well, back then, we saw one of the most polarizing events in American history. We saw the presidential election between Trump and Clinton. Now, let me tell you something. Back then, I was no fan of Clinton. I wasn't that brainwashed. I wasn't that hoodwinked. I was no fan of Clinton. Anybody here a fan of Clinton? Aside from Brandon? I think we should boo Brandon again for voting for Clinton. No, but seriously, I was no fan of Clinton. But back then, I was not a fan of Trump either. And I'll tell you why. It was the fake news media like CNN. It was the fake news media like MSNBC. It was the fake news or faux news media like Fox News that made me hate Trump. That made me think it was crazy. That made me think that he didn't care about America. That made me think it was a stunt. But after the election, I sat there similarly to how Brandon did, and I said, how could America elect a man that was crazy? I looked into it. I looked into the truth and saw that the media lied to me. They lied to me. So-called what they care about, a black youth in America who they say is the future. They lied to me. How could they do that? I looked deeper and further into it and saw that it was nothing but control. It was nothing but indoctrination. It was nothing but oppression in their eyes, and that's what it was. They oppressed me by lying to me, and I had to fight that oppression at the very source. And that's why we're here right now in front of the CNN Center, nearly 40 years later, to say that CNN, enough is enough. We're not going to let you lie to us. We're not going to let you lie to anybody else. And we're not going to let you lie to our youth. I was in 5th grade back in 2016. I'm 16 years old now. I'm in 10th grade. And I'm still in here to say that fake news media, you're done. We've had enough of you. We've had enough of your lies. We've had enough of your deceit. We've had enough of your power. We've had enough of your control, because we're tired of it. We are done with being lied to. We are done with being shamed. We are done with being misaligned. And we are done with being hated. You wanted us to hate Trump. We rejected that. You wanted us to hate America. We rejected that. You wanted us to hate the white man. We reject that. You want us to hate men, period. We reject that. You want us to hate fathers. We reject that. You want us to hate freedom. We reject that. And you want us to hate the Constitution. We reject your hatred at every spot that we can, because we know that when we fight the fake news media and when we fight those that oppose us, we win. When we fight those that lie to us, we win. And when we get out of here in the streets of Atlanta, or the streets of Detroit, or the streets of Chicago, or the streets of Washington, D.C., where nearly 500,000 Trump supporters gathered last Saturday, we win. So I'm here to tell you guys that when we come out here and we fight and we win, we guarantee the future for all of us. I know many of you guys have younger brothers or sisters, possibly children or grandchildren. You see me, and I want you to think and say, there is a future for America. I have hope for the future of America. I saw this young man, and I said, maybe the future isn't lost. Because I'm here to fight for it. I'm fighting for it right now, so that in the future I can keep fighting. Because America is not something I will ever let die. America is not something I will ever let the media teach me to hate. I will never let my peers, I will never let my brothers and sisters, black, white, Latino, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. I will get out there and I will say, don't listen to the media lies. I will get out there and say and show them that America is something to be proud of, not hate. They want us to hate America, well, we reject that. America has given me everything it could ever have, and it has given everybody here something as well. Those of you who came from communist nations, you had to flee your home. You made America your home because America opened their arms and let you wide open and let you in and said, you have freedom here. You have hope for the future. And now you're seeing this. You're seeing this event today, and you're saying CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all the other networks that we can't quite remember because they're so stupid. They lie to us every day. You know, the Don Lemonheads, the Rachel Madcows, or even the unfunny SNL hosts like Jimmy Kimmel and all those other guys that can never make us laugh. We reject everything you say because we stand for the truth. We stand for the future. We stand for America, and we stand for hope and freedom. And if you can't stand for that right along with us, then step out of the way. If you can't stand for the hope in the future, then step out of the way. And if you want to reject America, then we're going to push you to the side and put our fists up and say, we stand with freedom. We stand with the future. And we stand to get rid of the fake news media. I'm Chandler Crump, and I want you to fight with the future right alongside me. Because this fight is bigger than all of us. This fight will go on for decades to come. And when you can no longer fight, I will inspire your children to fight. I will inspire your grandchildren to fight. I will inspire your younger family to fight. Because this fight is generational. The baby boomers had it. Generation X had it. The millennials had it. And now it is Generation Z's time to fight. And we're getting out in the streets right now. Your children, your grandchildren are the future soul of this nation. And I'm here to show them that this nation is something to be proud of. I'm here to show them that whatever they taught you in the school about hating America isn't something that we should listen to. We should reject the hatred of this country. And we're going to do that in the future. And we're starting right now. With your support, and with your help, and with your energy, and with your strength. We are going to save America. We are going to save the future. And when America prospers, we will save the world. Thank you guys so much. You guys showing up and being here, and being active is the start of the fight, and I'm here to finish it once and for all. Let's do this. Let's do this. One more time. Let's do this. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Chandler Crump. In case you didn't see what was on his t-shirt, it says OAN. Let's give a hand for the One America News Network. Let's give a hand for Newsmax. Let's give a hand for Rsbn. One more time for those of you watching at home from, say, the Walkaway community or various communities. If you're not familiar with Rsbn, this amazing network travels around the country and provides free coverage for you of the various Trump rallies and events happening in the conservative movement. Thank you, Rsbn. Make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel. Make sure you follow them on social media and give them your support. And to the Rsbn community, please check out the Walkaway community as well. Go to the Facebook group, Walkaway Campaign. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on all social media. My name is Brandon Strzok. Give me a follow on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all of those. And Parler. I'm still struggling with Parler, but I'm trying. They need a little time. They need a little time still. Ladies and gentlemen, one more announcement quickly. At 12 o'clock today, which is coming up, I'm sure they'll start a few minutes late, at the state capitol is a Stop the Steal rally. I want to make sure you're all aware of that. I know different people have different plans today. Some of you are going to the governor's mansion, all good. But just so you're aware, there is a Stop the Steal rally today, starting at 12 at the governor's mansion. I'm going to head over there, and I'll be speaking there as well. Unfortunately, I have to cut and go over there as soon as this is over. So if you'd like a picture with me or the speakers, let's do it at the Capitol. I'm happy to do it, but we have to do it at the Capitol. My next and last two speakers today are again part of this amazing Walkaway family that has been traveling the country for the last 4 or 5 months, every single week, sometimes doing events 2 or 3 times a week, to rescue America. We've been rescuing America from the radical left, from Antifa, from Black Lives Matter, from the fake news, and even to stop the steal of this election. We are going everywhere where we are needed because this is the most crucial of all election years. And listen, I'm not going to be naming any names today, but I am going to be naming names once this election is over. I want you guys to really pay attention to who's been working their asses off this year for this election, and who, let's be honest, that we've turned into gods and stars in the conservative movement who spent the entire year at home doing absolutely nothing. I will be naming names of the people who sat home this entire year plugging their books on Fox News, but not doing any activism whatsoever to make sure that Donald Trump wins. Some of them, you guys are in love with these people. They didn't do shit this year while we were out fighting every single day, and I'm going to be naming names after the election. But in the meantime, the only name that I'm naming is one of my favorite boys in the face of the earth, Mikey. Hello!
Hey, fam! I'm so glad we're here because I've come here today to CNN to look for the missing plane that they said was swallowed by a black hole in the Bermuda Triangle. You guys remember that? That's the level of news you're getting at CNN. The most trusted name in news. Can you believe that they have the audacity to call themselves that? If CNN is the most trusted name in news, I am the most trusted name in gynecology. Every day for years now, it has been nothing but nonstop lies, propaganda, you name it. People were chanting before CNN sucks. More importantly, CNN lies. CNN lies! CNN lies! CNN lies!
check, check. What's up, American Patriot? How's everybody doing today? Does that sound pretty good? Can you hear me in the back? All right, I love to hear that. Take another step, they say. Okay. I'm not like Jennifer Lopez. I don't have my ass insured. But maybe I should. All right. Once again, how we doing today, Patriots? My friend here said walk away is a little movement. I beg to differ. And I'm going to tell you guys all about that in just a minute, because that's part of the reason why this fight is so personal to me, why I'm so pissed off about this election, and why I'm not going to stop fighting. What's that for? And why I am not going to stop fighting until we see justice in this election. Let's start with Georgia. What the hell is the point of a recount if we can't trust the validity of the ballots in the first place? If I get on my photocopier and I photocopy a bunch of $100 bills until I get to the point that I make myself a millionaire, am I really a millionaire? No! What if I go back and I count all those fake bills again? Am I a millionaire then? No! So why the hell is it okay for them to steal the voices of the American people? We want to know that all of the ballots in the election are valid, are from the American people. We demand justice. What a sham recount. What a sham recount. And let's talk about Michigan. In the state of Michigan, a truck pulled up in the middle of the night with thousands and thousands of votes. Well, no, that's okay. It's okay for votes to show up. But what happened next is not okay. That on those ballots, there was only one box checked, and it was for Joe Biden. Nothing down ticket, only Joe Biden. Hundreds of thousands of votes that showed up at 4:30 in the morning. And then eyewitnesses say that those ballots, which were only checked for Joe Biden, were scanned 1, 2, 3 times. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Damn right it's bullshit. We live in a very divided country right now. There's no denying that. And I don't know how and when we're ever going to fix that. But I'll tell you this. I'll echo the sentiments of some of the speakers before me. It should not matter if you're a Democrat. It should not matter if you're a Republican or anything in between. The voice and the votes of the American people must count. They must be validated, and we must be able to believe in our election system. We must. We know how it feels to go through 4 years of having a president whose presidency is questioned and repeatedly tried to be invalidated by the political left. We know how that feels. So if I were a liberal right now, if I were a Democrat, I would want to audit the vote and make sure that if my guy is going to end up in office, no one else can ever question the validity of whether he won or not. Why wouldn't you want that verified? Why wouldn't you want the people to know that your guy was honestly and fairly elected? There's only one reason I can think of. You're scared that it isn't true. Which brings me to walk away and brings me to why this particular fight, this battle is so close to my heart and so important to me. I spent the last 2.5 years of my life relentlessly traveling the country, doing events for the Black community, for the LGBT community, for the Hispanic community, for the Jewish community, because I wanted to wake people up from the lies, manipulations, and brainwashing of the Democrats and the liberal media and tell people that the color of your skin, your gender, or your sexual orientation does not determine how you need to vote. And now I'm getting pissed off.
Walk away! 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 Walk away!
And now I'm getting pissed off because you know something? Walk away worked. We nearly doubled the black vote in this election. We did double the LGBT vote in this election. We saw huge progress come to our side from the Hispanic community, from the Asian community, and from the Jewish community. And now the political left wants to steal the voices once again of all of these minorities who are brave enough and bold enough to stand up and walk away from the political left. Many of them lost family. Many of them lost friends. Many of them lost jobs. And they want to steal their vote? I don't fucking think so. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. The day after the election, I got on an airplane and I went to Michigan. And I led 3 rallies in Michigan to stop the steal. And then I got on an airplane and I went to Washington, D.C. And we had a rally in D.C. to stop the steal. And now we're in Georgia. And I will go anywhere and everywhere I need to go until the American people have some fucking justice. We want justice! 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 Hell hath no fury like a gay man scored by the Democrat Party. Ladies and gentlemen, I love each and every one of you. I have come to fall in love with all of you people. And I make this promise to you today. I will not stop fighting until we get justice in this election, not for a minute. You have my back, and I've got your back. And together, we will prevail in the 2020 election. I'm going to close out today by giving a message directly to the guy who brought out the fighter in the Republican Party, who brought out the fighter in all of us, Donald J. Trump. To Donald J. Trump, to President Donald Trump, I say, Donald Trump, up until now, the conservative movement hasn't had a strong fighter backing us up and fighting for the American people. You brought out the fighter in all of us. And you see what my shirt says? It says unsilent. Because the silent majority is unsilent from this point forward. Donald Trump showed us how to fight, and by God, we are going to fight for Donald Trump until our last dying breath. What's up, Georgia?
My name is Mike Coudray. We have been going across the country to stop the steal, to fight for the man that saved this country in 2016. I just want to know, is this fight over? We got more to go. The man fought for us day after day, time after time. He survived the media, the slanders. He survived the Russia hoax. Remember that? He survived the impeachment hoax. He got COVID and kicked COVID in its ass. Now it's our time to fight for our president. And this fight is long from fucking over. We came down to Georgia to let everyone know that recount is a sham. It was a sham from the beginning. That Secretary of State, there was no signature audit. They pretended that they audited the vote. It was a lie. Are we going to stand for that here in Georgia? Over my dead body. This election is one of the most important elections this country has ever seen. There is one man standing in between the evil forces trying to take this country over and the God-given patriots of this country. There's one man and one election. We are at that time right now. So there's no giving up. There is no backing down. There's one thing we know, and that is to fight for this God country. And we're long from over. We'll be in every state if we have to. We put 200,000 people in Washington, D.C. Next time we'll put 1 million. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all. Keep the fight. USA, 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 USA. Everyone, Shirley. America first. 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 These people are anti-American. They're anti-America. When I tell you there are communists in this country, there are people who are criminal, there are people in this country who have media lying to you about this election. Will you let them take you hostage? Will you let them take your country? We need to triple this fight. We need to get more of us out. This is our democracy that we are fighting for. My name is Shirley Hussar. I'm from Los Angeles, California. In 2016, I was the first African-American woman to stand for President Trump, to speak in behalf of the in U.S. history with my sons behind me. We had less than 25 African Americans in this country at that at that Republican National Convention. But the Democrats want to tell you that every black person is not for Trump. That's a lie. They stole our votes. We tripled those numbers, but you don't see them in the number of the polls. You see them in the crowds. You see them in the audience. But the media want to say that blacks don't like Trump. That's a lie. That's a lie. And when I tell you, hold your phones up. Everybody hold your phones up. Share with your friends. Share with your families. Get the word out there that democracy is real. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, stand for justice and tranquility, domestic tranquility. Where's the tranquility in all of this? Where do we have it? Right here. Kamala wannabe Black Harris. She wants to be black. Let me tell you who I am. I am a descendant. Listen, I am a descendant of slaves. My grandfather, my great-great-grandfather is from Georgia. I am an ADOS, an African-American descendant of slaves. We fought in this country along the white colonists. We We are family. We do not rule by immigrants or illegal immigrants. I was brought here as commoditized good trades and service, but we built this country together. We are not divided. Are we divided? Divided? Are you afraid? Are you scared? Come on now. Now you listen to me. When you leave here today, you go on your social media, you let them know that we are real in this country. We will not live by the democracy that they're trying to put us under. A regime of foreigners, immigrants, illegal immigrants, migrants, other people in other countries that are dictating our votes and our numbers. Is that America? No! Do we want that to be America? No! And now is your time. You cannot be afraid. You've got to infuriate the people in your community, in your families, in your neighborhoods. You need to rise within you. This president that we have is historical. It's unbelievable. It's a president that we've never had. I have been a Republican all of my life. I didn't just walk away. I've been a Republican all my life. And as a Republican, I stand united with my family and with my friends and with my new Republicans to tell you to stand fast in prayer. Stand fast in prayer. Don't live in fear. 4 more years. 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 Homelessness and sickness is raging across this country because of the Democrats. In California, we're down to 6% blacks. There are no African American people. Listen to me, I'm not lying to you. There are no African American people in Los Angeles right now. We are dying by the breed. Homelessness is tragic for blacks and white Americans. And we need to change that. Bubonic pain could be coming back. Hepatitis A could be coming back because they don't believe in the sanity and the sanctions of America. Joe Biden is talking about open up the borders. Do you want the borders open? We don't want those borders open. Build that wall. 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 Understand that the blacks in this country who represent themselves, we have many descendants of slaves who stand in line with this administration, who understands what we are and where we come from. And we stand united with you, all of you. But do not live in fear. Live in hope. Have the opportunity to tell your friends that this democracy, this country will not bow down easily. We will not go without a fight. We will stand united because we are the United States of America. Thank you so much. God bless you, Urban Game Changers. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Father God, stop the steal in Jesus' name. Stop the steal in Jesus' name.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Jesus' name.
Y'all having a good time? I know we're hot. I know we're sweaty. We don't even have a permit, and I love the First Amendment for that. Now, I got to tell you, just like a little programming note, there are a lot of influential people up here. Let's just give them a round of applause because they are the real backbone of Stop the Steal. We're able to touch all 50 states and over 100 million people online because we pulled together, sacrificed our brands, pulled a little money together, and gone to whatever state Donald Trump needs us in. And there's plenty of people who won't have a time to speak, but we're going to keep hanging out. We're going to do our thing. but I wanted a local to come. This is Eugene Yu. He's ran for Congress a couple of times, and we're going to use him to primary another dirtbag, Eugene Yu.
Hello, Georgia. My name is Eugene Yu from the Gwinnett County from Georgia. Look around. We all look different. We all look different. We all look great. Let me tell you one thing. We as Americans, how the hell we let Chinese communists take our election? They must pay for whatever they done to COVID-19. Especially this rhino Republican. We must clean our house. Let me tell you, here in Georgia, we got a governor is a Republican, lieutenant governor is a Republican, state of secretary is Republican, but we can't even control our election. What stupid is that? I tell you, you are all true American. We love you. We will continue fight. We will never let down. And God bless each and every one of you. And God bless Trump. Trump. I'm from the 1st Cavalry in the U.S. Army.
I like the po-pos, but I like our rights more, right? And we've been peaceful. We're going to continue to cooperate. But I want to give a big cheer for the boys in blue because they're moving in on Antifa right now. Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! But if they want to fight, we'll punch back, won't we? This is Georgia! Shamika!
Some say he's racist and tweets like a kid while overlooking all the good shit that he did. I ain't ashamed of my president a little bit. I'd rather have an alpha male than a little bitch. See, I heard here in Georgia that the governor doesn't want to do an audit. See, Stacey Abrams told us that he couldn't be trusted. I thought that she was just lying through her teeth, literally. But it seems that he really can't be trusted. And like Scott Pressler said, we will remember this when it's time for re-election. We will remember this. See, some people think that we're just walking away from the Democrat Party and that's it. But I'm telling you, we're walking away from everyone who is stiff and stuffy and scared to fight. And we're here in Georgia, but listen, I got my eye on every Republican that's sitting quiet. I got my eye on every Republican that's not standing up. And I don't care where I have to go. I'll drag Lindsey Graham out the closet. See, they say that black people don't support Trump. But right now they got one who will tie her hair to the back, put Vaseline on her face, and fight back. See, I'm the one that'll tell Black Lives Matter and Antifa a place where walk the dog means something totally different. So we are not going to put up with them trying to steal this election. We want you to audit the vote. Because listen, the only votes that should count are American votes. No habla inglés than ICE. We will continue to fight. We will not be silent. We will speak out and we will challenge every person that is lying to us. No more silence. No more being nice. And let me tell you something, Black Lives Matter and Antifa. You can step this way if you want to. This will be the day you get your ass kicked.
USA!
USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA!
You know, I can't help but think. I can't help but think that. I can't help but think of one person here who's missing. Who knows the name Andrew Breitbart? Andrew was a friend of mine. He was a friend of Megan's and maybe a couple of other people here. And he was ripped away from us in 2012. He was changing the Republican Party for better. I'll never forget when I met Andrew in New Orleans, 2010. We're at a conference. I'm a deputy there. And he gets up there, unshaven, no tie, and starts cussing in front of all these blue-haired Christian women. And they cheered him. Those women knew the fight that we were in, and I think they were in a deeper shit right now. So I want to do something in honor of Andrew. Take out your phone and hold it up. Andrew used to do this at all of his Tea Party rallies. Hold up your phone. Now I want you to know an internal policy that we have at Stop the Steal. These guys are the heroes. They do the media. I avoid the media. I do the secretary bitch word. But what's become apparent to me is that the media is dead. And now, as Andrew used to do, IWL journalist. And we want to be your editors. Go ahead and text the red wave to 797979. That's the red wave to 797979. This movement will deplatform the deplatformers. If we text each other, call each other, email each other, we don't fucking need the media. Don't worry, we'll end this rally in prayer. Right now, we're going to cuss. Now, how many people saw a viral hashtag, Maidengate? Maidengate. They are using the old names of women to steal votes for Democrats. We can verify it, and Lauren here is the woman who discovered it. We've been working with the Trump campaign. We've given them the information. They're taking the affidavits. It's not just Dominion. The Democrats have been stealing in every way you can imagine and in every state, and there's some Republicans in on it. Lauren Brown from Maidengate.
Sorry, hello. I'm Elle, or some bitch I know, or I was, until Twitter deplatformed me the other day for exposing Maidengate. For an old joke I made, they kicked my ass off. But I'm back on Twitter, they don't know it yet. But anyways, what I need you guys to do, I need you to go and check. This is not just women, this is just how I discovered it. Go and check your old voter registrations. It could be under an old name if you've been married or divorced. It could be if you moved. Men, women, everyone. Go and check your voter registration because it is happening. It is everywhere. And if you find it, you send me an email to maidengate@protonmail.com and you find me and we're going to put this out there. Okay? And I want to see, where's the media right now? Where's the establishment media? I cannot wait to put you out of business. Section 230 is getting repealed. And we are the news now. So watch out. Maidengate@protonmail.com. You can go to maidengate.com. That'll also work. Or you can find me on Twitter again. It's @Shalady. Yeah, come find me.
Stop the steal! 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 Stop the steal!
I think I'm going to go a little bit off script. Good. How many people we got here? Who would estimate this crowd? I think we got a couple thousand people here, don't we? I wonder what the media will call it. First, let's give a shout out again to the police because there's no permit, but they gave us the streets.
Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street!
I think we got an army brewing. Now, I apologize for the security. Antifa wants to kill our asses.
Bring them on!
I think that would be a big mistake, wouldn't it?
That's right!
You can make us martyrs if you want. I want a pastor to come up here. He's been put on Roger Stone's Stop the Steal Committee. That's affiliated with StopTheSteal.us as well. And I want him to say the Lord's Prayer. I've asked, last night I was on the phone with 40 of our state coordinators and I directed them that we should have an Our Father at every Stop the Steal rally from now and forevermore.
That's right!
This isn't just a political war. This is an info war. This is a spiritual war. And we're going to fight with all the weapons we've got.
Well, my name is Pastor Brian Gibson. I've been fighting all year for the First Amendment rights of our churches. How many believe that Jesus is still king? In the end, he was and is to come. And I know this about Jesus. Jesus is the lamb that shed his blood for the sins of the world. Somebody say amen. But he's not just a lamb, he is also a lion that will return to execute judgment upon the nations. His feet will land on the Mount of Olives. He will walk down through the Kidron Valley, up to the Temple Mount, and he will take his seat over the entire earth. And I say one day we're going to put the government upon his shoulders, and the church said, amen. I want you to begin to rally every pastor, every preacher, every man of God in America to stand up like an Elijah against Ahab and Jezebel. Come on, somebody. We don't want a nation that worships Baal. We want a nation that worships the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Come on, I see patriots and I see Americans. And I'll tell you, America did not birth the church, but the church birthed America. And if America will stand, it will be because the church has stood. And I'll tell you, I believe we're going to stand in the evil day, and God's going to strengthen us supernaturally. And God's going to pour out a revival in America from New York to LA, from Canada to Mexico. I'm telling you, Jesus is going to be glorified, and the Spirit of God will be poured out upon all. Now, what I want to do is I want to lead you in the Lord's Prayer. If you would pull your hats off, bow your heads. Come on, let's pray the Lord's Prayer. Everybody say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever and ever. In Jesus' mighty name, God bless you.
Amen. Amen.
Stop the stealing, Jesus' name.
That's beautiful.
Stop the stealing, Jesus.
I guess it's my turn for a speech. Not really. All I want you to do is this. StopTheSteal.us is where we are organizing. We can't rely on social media. They're banning us from everything. We lost our Eventbrite. We lost our MailChimp. We even had two of our choir organizers try to shut today down. We are not gathering in D.C. on December 12th. We will be in the streets lobbying the state legislators, won't we? As Kanye says, this is a mission, not a show. This is my eternal soul. So I want you guys to stay organized on StopTheSteal.us. Right now, you can go to the 5 contested states and you can call those bastards. And all we're asking for is that they publish a press release calling for a special session. That's pretty easy, right? Now I want you to know this. The media did it. The media did a hit piece because we registered also as a PAC. And the reason they did is they know that Ali is making a hit list. Anyone who doesn't put out a press release for a special session, and I don't give a damn what state they're in, they're going on our primary list, right? We are single issue voters, aren't we? It is a republic or it is death. Victory or 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 death. This isn't a controversial comment. Our founder said, join or die. They beat the strongest military force in the world. The deep state doesn't have the military on their side, do they? No. China doesn't have the military on their side, do they? No. If they marched 1 million Chinamen into this country, do you know what would happen? So anyway, I want you to remain organized on StopTheSteal.us. Call those state legislators in those states. Stay updated on the news. We're going to rally. And this is all going to end. The pathway for Trump to get to 270 is going to end through Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. So when these organizers say, I need 20,000 bodies in Wisconsin, y'all are going to grab a bus, a flight, a rock, right?
That you
announcing through Right Side Broadcasting. I want you guys, the president is watching, so let's give him a huge shout out.